Korra's dead, and a new avatar has emerged.
Oh my god, my Shayla!
Seven Havens, the latest chapter in the Avatar saga, has officially been announced. And yeah, I know some fans were hoping for The Legend of Genji, the fan-made continuation that blew up online, but considering the cease and desist they likely got, it makes sense that the project was scrapped. Turns out an official continuation was already cooking, and funny enough, both stories share some similar beats like a false avatar and a wandering protagonist. This new series drops us into a world wrecked by a catastrophic event. The new avatar, a young earthbender named Pavi, finds out she's the avatar in the aftermath of Korra's era. But here's the kicker. People now see the avatar as a symbol of destruction, not hope. So, with her long-lost twin by her side, Pavi sets off to unravel the truth about their origins and save the Seven Havens before the last pockets of civilization crumble. We're getting 26 episodes, split into 2 seasons with 13 episodes each, which means plenty of time to explore this new world and hopefully fill in the gaps from Korra's time. Korra has been dragged through the mud since day one, and honestly, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. People couldn't let go of Aang, and yes, The Last Airbender was really good, but that doesn't mean Korra deserved the hate she got. Korra and Aang were night and day. Aang was a pacifist, raised by monks relying on defensive, evasive techniques, but Korra, she wanted all the smoke. She was a powerhouse, fist-fighting her way through problems, and her villains were way more brutal than anything Aang faced. Aang had trouble learning elements beyond air, while Korra mastered everything but struggled with air, a further show of their flip parallels. They were two completely different avatars, shaped by their environments, but people praised Aang for going his own way, like when he disregarded Kyoshi telling him to straight up kill the Fire Lord, while roasting Korra for doing the same thing. Then there's the spirit portal decision. Korra chose to keep it open, fusing the human and spirit worlds. Controversial? Yeah, but she did it for balance, and honestly, that might be the very choice that led to the dystopian world we're stepping into with Seven Havens. False accusations and warped legacies aren't new in the Avatar world. Remember when Kyoshi was branded a ruthless killer, even though her actions were out of necessity, or Roku painted as a coward when his failure to stop Sozin came from love and compassion. Avatars have always been misunderstood, and I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing happened to Korra. Maybe Seven Havens will reveal how her legacy was twisted, and we'll finally see her vindicated. I tend to stick up for misunderstood characters, especially ones who are no longer around to defend themselves, and Korra fits that bill perfectly. Her assertiveness and unpolished way of handling things weren't flaws, they were reflections of her upbringing and the world she inherited, and the writers knew what they were doing. They mirrored the fandom's hate for Korra in the show itself, making her struggles even more real. Even if Korra made questionable choices, they were always driven by her belief in doing what was right. That's the core of her character, and it's why I think her true story is far from over. The twin dynamic in Seven Havens is interesting, especially given the Avatar universe's history with twins, like Esker and Desna, or Suyin's sons. Twins often symbolize duality, light and dark, chaos and order, but they also represent harmony, two distinct souls connected in a way no one else can understand. They can show how opposing forces are connected and can't exist without each other. The theme of balance runs deep in the veins of Avatar lore, and considering the whole point of the Avatar is to bring balance, exploring that through twins could be fascinating. Also, the twins in the Fortune Teller episode made me question the source of bending. They were identical twins, but one could bend and the other couldn't. Identical twins are genetically similar in every form, so one having bending and the other being a non-bender made me realise that bending may be more spiritual than genetic. Like, look how the airbenders came back in Korra's time. Could it have been that they were genetic descendants of airbenders, or it was something way more spiritual? I'd like to see how the Avatar concept would be explored with twins. So what if both twins share the Avatar spirit? What if only one has it and the other has a completely different role? I'm curious to see the path the story takes. In usual fashion, Pavi has an animal companion much like Appa and Naga, a feline-monkey hybrid. Some people are already crying that Avatar is too woke because Pavi has one leg, which is hilarious considering Toph was blind and literally the most powerful earthbender alive. Avatar has always embraced characters with disabilities, showing that strength comes in many forms. If anything, it reinforces the theme of greatness in the midst of adversity. The Avatar series breeds immensely strong characters who refuse to lay about sulking about their situation, but rather get things done. Ming Hua, for instance, had no arms, but she was one of the most lethal waterbenders we see on the screen. Not to mention, it makes for a great watch to see the creativity employed by benders who have such disabilities. Let's not forget it was a blind 12-year-old that brought metal bending into the picture. Even Korra herself at some point was disabled after she got poisoned. The point is that disabilities in the world of Avatar isn't a new theme. I'm surprised more people aren't disabled with the kind of benders that are allowed to roam free, not to mention the creatures and spirits. Pavi being the Avatar and having one leg opens up so many many creative possibilities for storytelling and bending techniques. Just like how Toph turned her blindness into a strength and Minghua made water her limbs, Pavi could adapt in unique ways that can enhance her bending. Similar to Minghua, her missing leg leaves an opening to be filled by an element. She could bend a rock leg directly from the ground, shaping it in real time as she moves. She could even change its shape for different needs, like a sharp spike for climbing or a broad platform for stability. She could launch the leg as a projectile and instantly create a new one. If she learns metal bending, she could craft a lightweight metal prosthetic that she controls with precision. It could shift into a blade, hammer, or grappling hook, giving her extra combat versatility. Without full reliance on her legs, she might develop enhanced seismic sense, using her connection to the earth to feel vibrations. This could make her almost impossible to surprise in battle, even sensing attacks from behind. Pavi could earthbend a small disc under her foot and ride it like a skateboard, surfing over terrain at high speeds. Like Minghua, she could bend a water leg, shaping it into different forms, like a whip for attacking or tentacle-like coils for extra agility. If the spirit world is leaking into reality, maybe she could form a spirit energy leg in moments of heightened connection, glowing with elemental energy and giving her a temporary power boost. But how did Pavi lose her leg? Her leg could have lost circulation in the womb due to her twin's umbilical cord wrapping around it, leading to amputation at birth. This could create deep emotional tension. Maybe her twin feels guilty or tries to overcompensate, while Pavi resents the perceived favoritism her sister gets for being whole. Maybe she accidentally crushed her own leg while trying to learn earthbending as a kid. The accident could symbolize her early struggle to control her power, making her loss a direct consequence of her avatar nature. Maybe she suffered from a severe infection that required amputation to save her life. What if her village was attacked and she lost her leg while trying to protect her twin? This could serve as a tragic origin story, fueling her determination to become stronger as the avatar. Maybe she was simply born without a leg, which normalizes disability in the avatar universe without tying it to trauma. Her bending journey could show that being different was never a limitation, but rather a source of strength. Pavi's missing leg wouldn't just be a physical detail, it could shape her personality. Maybe she's a bit of a hothead, always trying to prove herself in a world that doubts her capabilities. Or maybe she's deeply empathetic, having grown up feeling othered, which makes her even more determined to protect the outcasts of society. Her bending style would likely be a mix of aggression and adaptability, using her unique techniques to overwhelm enemies who underestimate her. And if her leg loss is tied to her twin, that relationship could drive the emotional core of the story. Maybe they feel like two halves of a whole, echoing the show's theme of balance. The fandom beef between Aang and Korra has gone on for way too long. Let's not forget that she's literally a reincarnation of him. Imagine people pitting you against your past life. People claim they want real characters with flaws and a personality, but they couldn't even handle Korra. I'm hyped to see where Seven Havens takes us. We may be jumping from the steampunk era to a post-apocalyptic one. Maybe we'll finally get closure on Korra's legacy. Either way, this new chapter has the potential to be just as legendary as what came before it. If you want more videos like this on animated content, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I have some exciting videos coming up, and let me know in the comments what you think about Seven Havens. Are you excited? Skeptical? Let's talk about it. And as usual, see you in the next one.